And Lisa was just here a minute ago.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
There she was. Can you guys see her? Because my camera, I don't see her on my screen. Not only that, my attendee screen doesn't show up.
You know what? When I logged back in, I got a big red bar across my Gmail saying that Google's having issues authenticating at this time.
Oh, so maybe that's okay. We'll give technology a break today because maybe it's the weather or something. Who knows? Because we do have a lot of rain. Oh, here I can see. Hello, Diane. Hello, Cindy.
Hello.
Oh, and it shows a bunch of attendees, others. So everyone, welcome. We cannot see faces, so you will only see my face and hopefully Lisa's face. I, for some reason, cannot see Lisa's face. I just see a little head. Huh?
Can anybody else see me? I mean, my light's on. I can see myself. Well.
The light's on, Lisa, but nobody's here on the screen.
No. Okay, they say that. Well, you know what? Maybe it's because I colored my hair. I was telling Karen I colored my hair today, and I left it on a little bit longer to get rid of the gray, and I look like a pumpkin.
But we would like to see that. Come on, Lisa, show us your pumpkin head.
I know, right? Hold on. Let me turn the camera back on. Anybody that knows me knows I have red hair, and it is pumpkin looking time right now.
Hi, Max. So everybody, the chat room is open. Please say hello and post any questions you have before we get started about the healing process. And then, of course, our topic tonight is what are the Akashic records? And we'll explore that. So any questions that you have, we'll look into that. And I just came back from a wonderful getaway weekend. I guess you call it a getaway, but it was a getaway for me in Wisconsin. A dear friend passed last year, and so a bunch of us went to his home where we used to host the butterfly retreat weekends, the butterfly experience retreat weekends, and had a memorial of sorts. But he was there. He was with us. He was doing some healing work. And he was really excited to do it because now he was doing it from working with us that he'd worked with in body, working with us, you know, without a body. And so, of course, with access to new and cool energies that you know he may not have had here. And it was really a great event. So I just got back. I just got back and got my stuff in the house maybe 20 minutes before 8 o'clock today. I got to go to the bathroom, put some food back in the freezer, and here I am. So we will 8:03. Oh, and Wendy is not with us tonight. Wendy is doing some serious cleansing. I forget, she's puking and she's a mess.
Oh, the poor thing. Poor thing, sicker than a dog.
Yeah, so she's like, she's like, there's no way I will be able to be on tonight. So we send her our love, and I know you guys do too, because everybody loves Wendy, don't they? So, and Lisa, of course, and me sometimes, and all of you. All right, so I will, in a few minutes, I will be going off screen. I will be saying a prayer and calling on this healing energy that really is already there, is always there. For some reason, having the intention of channeling it and being a vessel for it really allows it to flow out and through and to you, and you receive it as is needed for your highest good. So it is not going to necessarily be the same experience as anybody else here on the webinar, or as anybody in your family who you might have in the room with you, or as our YouTube viewers might experience it, or even as how you experienced it last time you were on. From time to time, it's going to be different. Person to person, it's going to be different. We would like you to be relaxed, have your muscles and joints relaxed. We always tend to clench our jaws and our shoulders and our knees when we're standing. You ever notice everybody always has their knees locked? Joints locked. Why? Oh, Lisa Victorson opened Capture, smile.
Oh
don't know what she just did.
my God, am I close? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Lisa's telling you that the reason her camera's not on because her hair's orange. It's really because she's naked.
I was born that way, just so you know.
Okay. I only see Karen. Yes, for some reason Lisa's camera is giving her trouble. But when she signed into Google, Google said it was having trouble authenticate her. So, but it let her come on. So thank goodness Google was let her be here, but they're not letting her show us her face. So you just get stuck with me. Bummer.
We love you. You're beautiful.
Well, and then the occasional black screen when Lisa talks.
Oh
really,
my!
It's just a black screen. That's all it is when it goes to your camera.
I won't even laugh. Cindy said for Wendy and Lisa, it's not their face, it's only the round image. Cindy, I am round, but just put like red hair on top of it. Yeah. I'm always round.
Yeah, and you missed that Wendy is sick as a dog, so she won't be with us, so you won't see her. You don't want to see her. I'm sure doesn't want anybody to see her, when you're sick. Gosh, that's awful. All right. Do we have any questions about the process before we get started, or anything that you want to add, Lisa?
No, just allow. That is my favorite belief through the whole experience is just allow and surrender to what comes your way. Sometimes you may not feel something automatically today. Do not tie yourself to the outcome. It is working and it is beautiful.
Yeah. Aren't we lucky? Aren't we so lucky to be awake in this highly materialistic world?
Absolutely.
Society. The world itself is not materialistic. It's us humans that have created that paradigm for ourselves. But in actuality, the earth is spiritual, as we are. But we walk around thinking that we're not. So we're very blessed, and you all are so blessed and lucky to be awake and sharing this experience with us, and any other things that you're doing in your life that help with your eternal growth. Because we all know that this life is just temporary, and then we get back to that eternal adventure. I can talk sometimes. All right, so let's get started. Again, I'm going to go off screen. You're going to relax, close your eyes, have an internal experience. Breathe nice, slow, deep breaths, and whatever happens, happens. If by chance something feels painful, try to breathe through it. Breathe through it. Something is shifting. We'd like you to allow it. If it's just intolerable, then you have to stop and give yourself a break and come back. But 99.9% of the time, you can handle it. Okay? Close the eyes. What else? I had something else in my head I wanted to say. I forgot. Lisa, help me. Oh, no, I just lost it again. No, doesn't matter. Here we go. excuse me, Lisa, I can see you.
Yay!
Yay. You know what? Your hair must really be red because your whole room is orange. And now your speaker's off. I can't hear you. There you go.
At least I know my room is not orange. Let me see if I turn another light on.
It's all right. It's okay.
See? I don't know. I pick up my computer tomorrow.
Yay! Lisa's getting a new computer for those of you that haven't been playing along. All right, so welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good experience during that healing portion, which remember you can come back, go onto YouTube anytime and experience it again, share it with others. And you don't have to listen to the whole video. Obviously, just go to the healing part, you know, get your 10 minutes of healing and go on about your day. All right. Where are we?
Sue said you're glowing, Karen.
She said what?
You're glowing.
I'm glowing. Ooh, thank you. Yeah, I think I am. I'm a very happy person. At least today, not every day, boy, not every day, but I am very happy today, and I guess it's showing, huh? All right.
Good, good. All right. Did anybody feel anything spectacular? I did. It felt. Well, for me, it is the it's the, you know, where it continues to grow upon and every one I'm on it adds to it, and it feels better. I feel more connected. When we first started it, I would have to go quiet and just kind of get into that space. The quicker I am able to achieve a space, a feeling of total restlessness immediately, just calm and peace immediately.
Nice.
Did I say restlessness? I meant it's just calm and peace for me.
Yeah, yeah. I got what you meant, but yeah. So you're saying that initially when we start, what did we just start in December or something, that maybe it took you a little longer to get to that place, and now you're getting there very quickly when.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
You know what? And actually, I would like to know if for some of the people that have been on this, do they start to feel it? Because usually in the afternoons before we start, I start to feel it. It's like, okay, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. It's like my crew, because, you know, it's guidance from everybody. It's guidance from everybody else's guides and angels as well. So it's kind of like everybody's gearing up for it.
Yes. Yes, and the more tuned in you are, you know it's coming. Yeah, that happens a lot for us. I mentioned the butterfly experience. That's a retreat, a healing weekend retreat we do several times a year, and often people, the attendees, you know, in the week leading up to it or so, they can feel it and things are happening. You know, their body's like, you know, it's coming. Because those are really intense experiences. And Lisa's coming for the first time next month. Our next one is in May.
Yep, May what? Can you announce it?
Yeah, May 15 to 17. It's in Batavia, Illinois. You know, if anyone's interested, email me, and we'd love to have you join us. I just noticed here, and I don't usually look at chats, but something had me look at it, that Marissa, somebody had a question, is anything happening? And Marissa answered, it's quiet. Thank you so much for stepping up and helping us out there. Although you were supposed to be having your own experience, but I really appreciate that you helped us out.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
And that it was quite refreshing. And Kathy said that she just listened to a dragon meditation right before she got on here, and that the dragon came to hug her during this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what? We got to talk about dragons sometime.
Absolutely.
We got to talk about dragons. I love dragons.
I love them. They're beautiful. Everybody's got their own dragon, and everybody uses their dragon for something different.
So as for those of you that are going, what the heck are they talking about? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Because tonight we're talking about the Akashic Records. Do we have any questions on that topic yet, or where are we?
Oh, we do. Wendy sent it to me. Can anyone ask for information, or do you need to be trained to access the Akashic Records, your own personal Akashic Records?
You can access them yourself, yes. The training, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that there is a trademarked method of accessing the Akashic Records, and so they will have their own format, their own routine of accessing them. But it's not, the Akashic Records aren't owned by anybody. Anybody can get get in there, and certainly there are a gazillion names for the Akashic Records. You don't have to. I never use that term actually myself, but I know that a lot of people do, and they know what I'm talking. If you say that, people know what you're referring to, but it's not a term that I use. So it's not some proprietary library, and certainly there are as many ways to get there as there are to find God. Like who is it, Buddha or Gandhi or somebody? There's many ways up the mountain. So yeah, you do not have to have that specific training.
Good. All right, that's beautiful. The only library book I never returned was my Akashic Records. Just kidding. How to make a joke there. Sorry, I'm still checked out with it. Is information about is what is located in the Akashic Records information about past lives? Like, can I ask about a specific lifetime I spent on, say, Alpha Centauri 1 million years ago? Or do the Akashic Records contain more philosophy, advice, or guidance for us in a specific situation?
Both and.
Very nice.
Both and. That's another one, the either or statements.
I have something to bring up at the very end of this, so I'm going to write it down real quick.
Oh, and we have something to invite all of you to support us in, a favor to ask of you. Don't let me forget that at the end. We'll do that. So so the same as a library. If you go to your local library, it's not just one topic. I mean, suppose if you go to the science library at your university, it's going to be all science. But the Akashic Records, like your local community library, has all topics. So it's, and the Akashic Records, isn't an actual place. It's not housed in a building. It's the what is. It's what exists. It's reality. And we all live in that. So you're simply accessing knowledge. Yes, you can specifically be seeking information about other experiences besides this earthly life. Yes, you can be seeking information about how to resolve situations that are going on for you now, or that have been following you along multiple experiences. It's infinite what you want to use it for.
Can you explain a little bit about what the Akashic Record? Okay, so just for the sake of argument, we know some people know them as Akashic Records. How do you know them or view them, or how do other people view them? And can you explain a little bit about what they are?
I'm getting an image of, and again, I mean, what somebody specifically envisions the Akashic Records to be, each individual, the same like how I envision pink. I don't know that you envision pink the same way I envision pink. It's like a stream, a fountain of energy flowing, that you kind of reach in and grab. Personally, I feel like it's what is, it's what exists, it's the energy. Remember, if we acknowledge that everything is connected, And we know that every cell in your body knows not only its life history, it knows your physical life history. It knows the cell, this little cell in my pinky knows exactly what's going on with this piece of hair, with my ear, with my toe, with my organs, anything. Every cell knows what everything has done, what has happened as far as emotions, as far as disease, as far as digestion and nutrition. On top of that, it knows everything that happened to everyone in your ancestral line. Now take that to the metaphysical. You know everything that happened. You have access and know everything to that ever happened to anyone at any time, at any place, anywhere in the universe. Because it's the fabric, it's what is. Am I making sense? Please?
I believe you are. I just posted if anybody, I think it is. I just posted if anybody has any additional questions as to what they perceive it to be.
Yeah. And please remember that I am speaking from my experience. I am using words. I'm trying to take concepts and turn them into words that's got to get into your brain that you have to translate. And if you have a question, if it's not getting through to you, ask me to clarify it. I am perfectly happy to do that, because communication is a trick, especially in this world when we're using this, this clumsy system of words and sounds. You can see my face, so perhaps my expressions help some, but it's really a clumsy system. So ask away if I'm not making sense, or if Lisa's not making sense, or Wendy's not making sense. We're happy to clarify, because if you don't get it, probably the other guy doesn't, the next person doesn't get it either.
I also like to explain it that like when they want to go back, because some people want to go back and see what they've done in past lives. Did I do this? What did I do? Most likely you've done it all. You've experienced it all. What I like to do is when I take people back, or when I go back, I like to go back and see the experiences that I have had and the emotions that I have had, because that is what will assist your soul to evolve, is to have the experiences. And that is why I like to go back into them, and I assist people with going back, is to remember that experience, bring that trait forward. Remember when you were a businesswoman in a previous life, and you may not have a very strong business sense in this life, however you want to start a new business. So let's go back and we will find that trait that you remember. It's about remembering. It's not forgetting everything in the past lifetimes. Your soul remembers it all. Your soul remembers everything you've done. It's just remembering it, because when you are sitting down with somebody to discuss your Akashic records, to discuss your records, you are remembering. They take you back to where it is. And if you close your eyes, you can sometimes smell the market that you were in. You can smell the experience. You can feel it. You're there again. And it's because you are remembering it. You've never forgotten it. You're remembering it all. Absolutely.
Yes. And for those of you that perhaps aren't ready to accept that we have multiple experiences, or perhaps you're a psychiatrist or psychologist or something that you interpret that as being, oh, that's the mind creating an experience to accommodate the current situation. That's good too. That there's nothing that's a positive thing. However you want to create that truth for yourself, it's still a tool for you to use. Whether you comprehend it as a metaphysical one of an eternal life or not, that's okay. It's the same. It's similar to somebody, a doctor, somebody poo-pooing something because it's a. Oh my God! How can I not think of the word?
I'm sorry, what word are you looking for?
When somebody gives you a drug and then they give you a fake drug.
A placebo.
Placebo. When people talk about, when they poo-poo the placebo effect, oh, that was just, that's not valid, that you feel better, that was just a placebo. So? Oh, there's Jakey Poo. I haven't seen him all weekend. who cares if it was a placebo effect? If it was a placebo or the real drug, if it made you feel better, you know, why do we poo-poo it? Because we don't want to accept it. It still worked, you know?
Okay. And even for the people with the placebo effect, it's, you know what, why the biggest, okay, one of the largest things that we need to remove from our daily lives is judgment. And why are they, you know, they're having their experience. Their experience is to say that doesn't exist. That's fine. I'm having my experience and it does. So it's a judgment of, oh, she thinks it exists. And, you know, like you said, the placebo effect. I mean, if somebody thinks it works for them, perfect. That's their experience and that is helping them in this very moment. And if somebody else says, no, it's not working, it's not true, you don't believe it, you know, that's fine. That's for them to experience in this lifetime. Oh, so
like when Dumbledore tells Harry Potter, Harry Potter says, but how do I know that this just isn't going on? It's real. How do I know it's not just going on in my head? And Dumbledore says, well, just because it's only going on in your head doesn't mean it's not real.
Absolutely. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like to tell people I'm a size 2, and if you don't see it, that's your perception, not mine.
Yeah. Yes. And remember Descartes, the famous I think, therefore I am. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that you know that you're real is by what you think and what's going on in your mind. That's the only way that you do exist. So, absolutely. You know. Okay, do we have any other questions?
Yeah, do the records have info only about lifetimes here on Earth, or what about other lifetimes, and how do we find out about those?
About lifetimes outside of Earth?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, first of all, and I may offend a person or two, including Lisa, but this is my understanding and my perception, and I can't offend her because she just said what's going on in my
I am never offended by anything. I don't care
what anyway, so here's the thing. If you're going in and looking at records, you're looking at your past experiences, past again being a relative term because that's how we think linear. You're going in and looking at another experience of yours somewhere in the universe, this infinite universe of ours. Say it's an experience that you had on some planet that looks nothing like Earth. Life forms look nothing like this. Food looks nothing like this. Transportation looks nothing like this. And you're given that vision and that information. How are you going to understand it? The information has to come to you in a way that you are going to be able to understand. So of course it's going to look like Earth. If you are experiencing and you are accessing this in your conscious mind has to be able to process the information. And if it doesn't look like something it can understand, it cannot process it. So who's to say what you're seeing is not from another life, from another planet besides Earth? And personally, why the heck would you want to come to Earth over and over and over again when there's like a zillion other planets to choose?
We have wine. I love Earth.
But how do you know that they don't have wine elsewhere?
I know. Well, it's probably like gator juice. I love being on this Earth plane. I can't wait to come back again and again because I like having the experiences. Because personally, for me, even the most horrific negative things I have gone through, I've learned.
Okay, so in your perception, you're saying that Earth, that this specific planet Earth is the only planet that has this type of material existence.
No.
Wine.
No.
Right. So then would you not perhaps choose to go to another one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
I'm saying from my experience right in this moment, in this lifetime, I love this Earth plane as much as I love that cat.
Rub that belly.
Oh.
You see how fat he is? He's such a fatso. And he doesn't eat that much. He's just a big boy. He's just a big boy. So, okay.
Okay, so we have a couple questions. When is it helpful to use the records, and how do we access them?
Okay. So again, so when you meditate, when you sit in quiet or meditate, I love to meditate to music. We do the radical journey that is loud and we're moving, but we're meditating. What you're doing is you're going into yourself and accessing your higher self, which has access to everything. So that is accessing it. What was the question? How do we access it? Okay, so I mean, you can do the training. You can pay somebody to learn how to do it, their formal way. You can go on the internet and see how other people do it. But simply, when you meditate, you are accessing information. You are speaking with yourself. You don't need to speak to somebody else. You can, but you, in your information with yourself, meditating, you're getting information. And when you first start out, you might not feel confident. You might doubt whether or not what you're getting is true or not, but keep at it. It's the same like if you go to a new reader or somebody, when somebody first comes to me or to Wendy or Lisa or anybody, often you're going to pick somebody because you're friends or, you've heard other people have had good experience with them. But there's still that initial like, I wonder if she really is for real. And so as you get more information, you start going, oh, yeah, that resonates with me. That makes sense. It feels true. And then the same will happen for you yourself. As you get more with it, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I maybe don't get it. Maybe I can't quite conceptualize what it means, but it rings true.
So
was there a second part of that question?
It was, how do you access it, and what are some of the reasons? When is it useful to access them?
For everything.
Yes.
I mean, you don't be walking around, down the street, because, you don't want to get hit by a car or whatever. I mean, we do have to live in this physical world. But we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We are here for our growth. So as we are working on our development, whether it's choosing a life partner, whether it's choosing a career, whether it's debating whether or not I want to go to Tahiti or England for the summer, whatever it is, you want to make as informed a decision as possible. And yes, of course, there are all the logical and rational aspects of it. Do I have enough money? And are there flights to Tahiti? That kind of stuff. But having an idea of what resonates and what rings and what is going to be for your highest good, whether meeting somebody, you meet Lisa and you go, oh, I just love her. Or you meet somebody else and you're like, I'm kind of not thinking I want to hang out with that person. There are a lot of reasons why you want to be in touch with your higher, with your intuitive self, with the reality of the what is, the Akashic, whatever you want to call it, because it can guide you,
If I can go back, I don't know how many people were on last week when I explained when I was in New Mexico and I met my son from a previous life. That is where I got that information about him, is going into the Akashic records. I felt it. Where did I know him? That's what I did. I went in to access the Akashic records, because obviously it was not in this lifetime. It was something that was brought up that I needed to resolve from that lifetime. So I believe we access them all the time, just not, just not like we consciously sit down and do it. I feel that sometimes we're accessing it. Like when you said, when you see somebody that and you have that instant soul connection, like I had with you, my vibration, my soul, my heart knew your vibration. We all have different vibrations. I knew your vibration. It's just a knowing. And that comes from the Akashic records. It's a knowing. It's a familiarity. We know the vibration of each other. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So somebody wanted to know, how do you how do you know when you're accessing the Akashic records versus something else? Kind of like what I explained, but if you want to touch upon that a little more.
Yeah, well, I haven't done this class in a while, but I kind of do this anyway, on an ongoing basis. But when I had a standalone class, I was calling it Entering the Matrix. The Matrix is all it is. It's the fabric in which we exist, in which every string, every cross, weave, everything is connected to everything else. And by stepping into that and owning that and being there. What was the question again?
How do we basically know when we're accessing them?
Oh, yeah. So you start, remember what I just said about, when you first are doing it, you're not sure but as it starts ringing true for you. So what I suggest to people is start with something very simple, like you're at the grocery store and you're buying apples. And so maybe somebody walking by might think you're a little odd for doing this, but that's okay, because we know that I am who I am, and you don't have to like it. So you're standing for the apples, and you just stand there and go, okay, I like these red apples, and there's a bunch of them here. Which is the one that I want? Which is the one that's for my highest good? Which apple has the vibration for me? And let your hand go out. Can you, close the door, sweetheart. I meant the other one, but that's okay. I'll have my stuff on the door. That's why I keep that door closed. and usually I have the far door closed, and that's why the cat never comes in here, because I have the door closed. So anyway, and I don't know why he didn't realize I was on. It's always Sunday night. I'm sorry. My kid got goofy. Well, I haven't seen him all weekend.
It's the new time.
Yeah, and you're right. It's the new time. You don't want to come and say hi, I'm sure. I'm going to go squeeze him soon when we're done off of here. So find something simple and reach for and feel which apple feels good. And okay, that apple feels good. And then ask yourself, which apple is not for me? Pick up that apple. How does that feel? Oh, that's going to feel different in your body. Or I should say also, another powerful tool is say a true statement. And it has to be something that is absolutely true. I currently drive a red car. That's absolutely true. I don't, but maybe you do. Whatever color your car is. Or I currently am employed as an architect. Something that is absolutely true. Don't say something like, I have 3 sisters, because you might have 6 sisters and you're not aware, because we've talked about this, about multiple birth, multiple fetuses, and one absorbs and stuff. So you might have more siblings than you realize. Or say, don't say something like, I'm 32 years old, because depending on how you might internalize that you're 32 years old based on the date of your birth. And sometimes some people, they express it based on the date of their conception. So it has to be something that's absolutely true. So you say that and you sit with it, and where does it resonate in your body? And do that for a couple things. I had avocados for lunch. That's a true statement. Absolutely true statement. Do that and notice where you feel in your body, and then say something that's not true. I drive a pink car. I had pizza for lunch. Things that are not true, and notice where do you feel that in your body, and how does it feel? And as you develop that muscle, and again, I want you to start with little things that are not important, that you have no emotional hook to. You start with those things, see how it feels, and then step up the game a little bit to something that has a little bit of emotional catch to it, and do the same thing. Let's make the statement, my neighbor intentionally, ran over my grass, or whatever. And how does that feel? Oh, you know what? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel true. Okay, so it must have been an accident, or maybe it wasn't my neighbor, or whatever. I mean, I'm just making this up out of nowhere. So, but find things, and then, so don't start with stuff like, I don't know, I should get a divorce, or move to Tahiti, or whatever. Don't start with something really intense. Start with something really low key, and strengthen the muscle and work your way up. But again, you will know in your body how it feels. And as you develop that muscle, you will trust yourself more and more, and you'll know that you are tapped into truth.
If I can also give them some things to do that I've had my daughters do. On a piece of paper, they write like 3 positive statements and 3 negative statements, and just put your hands over them. Close, take one clearing breath, put your hand over it, and see which one feels good, and see which one's kind of like, doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. To see the negative statements. Plus, I've also had them put a piece of their jewelry. We do it like the cups, but we use a piece of paper. 3 pieces of paper, you put a piece of your jewelry under one that doesn't look big and bulky, and just put your hand over it and see which one feels like it's connected to you. Which one feels, which one maybe you feel a warming in your palms or a tingly or your ears, and it's allowing them to become familiar and aware of how they perceive and how they feel things. Maybe, if you feel a tingling in your ear, that's how you are going to perceive different, right or wrong. That's how you're going to perceive when somebody's fibbing to you. That's how you're going to perceive that you have somebody that's not, a bad feeling, because everybody feels things differently. And it's understanding and knowing how you yourself perceive and feel things. Definitely. So, is it possible? We have another question. Let me go to it. Wendy sent it to me. It is this. I like this one. Is it like going to the library? Once you are in, can you browse the shelves, or do you need specific questions to ask? You have to go to the card catalog first, right? Remember those little card catalogs?
First, you have to make sure the librarian. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
I hated those. I couldn't remember the alphabet.
You can browse different things. Remember, though, if it's something that is not for your highest good to know, you are going to be kind of guided to not go in that direction. I kind of have a good idea of what my parameters are. But I remember in the beginning, like I was always asking, and sometimes they'd be like, "Nope, don't you can come this far. You can't go any further. This is not for you to know." So and I wasn't offended in the least, and don't you be either. Some things are just not for us to know at this time. And you have to be clear too that, tempting as it is, it's not a game, and it's not for entertainment. So you have a clear understanding of what it is that you want and what you're trying to access, rather than just being like, because if you kind of have that flippant attitude of just being curious, then you're kind of going to get like just a mild answer rather than a deep truth. Do you understand the distinction? I know you're not a dummy, but was I clear in making that distinction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then again, sometimes, maybe you don't have enough time, and depending on what's going on. I mean, there are a lot of factors. And again, we've got to address this either or thing. But we'll get to that one of these days. Anything else?
I'm asking anybody. Awesome topic tonight. What were you gonna say at the end of it that we needed their help with?
Oh yes, we are gonna be on the radio, internet radio. I'm gonna give you all the details. We'll send out the next email. I'll have to do that. Are we meeting tomorrow? I guess maybe just you and I, with Wendy being over the bucket. Did you hear me, Lisa?
That she's where?
I said it might have to be just you and I meeting tomorrow, since Wendy's over the bucket.
Sorry. Been there, done that. We've all seen my swollen.
We all know how that feels. But anyway, I'll be sending an email. But so this Wednesday, rather than being on the webinar, we're going to be doing our first radio broadcast. This will be a dry run. It will be actually on the air, but we're not going to advertise it to the world in general because we need to. We haven't done this before, so this will be a bit of a learning curve. But we would love for you guys to be with us. You're already used to us, and you know our little quirks and foibles, and you can call us on our crap if you need to. And so sign into be on Facebook and post your questions that way, because that's how you can talk to us over the radio. There won't be a chat room because it's the radio. It's internet radio, but it's still radio, so it's not going to be the same format. And again, you won't see us. Like on the radio, you won't see us. So Lisa really will be naked on Wednesday.
I was born that way.
So, but we're really excited. This group, they have it's a new station, but they're already in 136 countries. Isn't that exciting to be able to share and interact with people all over the world? I'm really excited, and we hope that you will stay with us. Go ahead.
I'm boning up on my accents. No, I just. I don't want to offend anyone else in another country.
Yeah, well, lucky for us, English is pretty much the most has the most extensive coverage geographically of all the languages. So actually, it does work in our favor.
Yes, and actually, Katie, my oldest one, lives in London, and she just went back today, so she's going to have a bunch of her friends listening.
Awesome. Yay. So anyway, I will send out the details. You'll get it in the email, and then of course it'll be on the Facebook page, Immersion with Source, which I need to change that to Immersion into Source. I will do that. I gotta do that soon. Actually before Wednesday, don't I? So if you would do us the favor of joining us on our Virgin radio voyage, we would really appreciate it.
I've had my name associated with, never mind, I'll leave that alone. All right.
Yes. And it's not going to be the Titanic.
It's absolutely. There was a comment, no judgment on your door. Remember, I think that needs to be another class is, not another class, but another webinar is how to release judgment. I mean, we can't release it fully. We're human. However, how to understand and allow yourself to be willing to see others' perceptions.
Yes. And thank you, whoever posted that. I really, really appreciate that comment because, I mean, I don't really care that it's there, but I want you all to be comfortable, and so it makes me a little uncomfortable that might be, perceived, oh, look at that clutter and that mess, But yes, thank you. I don't like, well, I guess there are some weirdos out there that do like cleaning, but I am not one of them.
I would like to invite one of them over.
Yeah, exactly. We love you. Come over. And I say weirdo with full heartfelt love because, believe me, I can just shout weirdo all day, but ask my kids, the weirdo is right here.
Absolutely.
So I do not mean that in any way negatively. I love that term weirdo and wonky and, woo-woo and
I love
granola. I remember years ago, a friend of my sister's was like, God, I didn't realize your sister was so granola.
What's granola mean?
All natural and, not part of the main, just, a hippie. My kids are always calling me a hippie. Oh, Mom, you're such a hippie.
Is that your sister hugging a tree over there?
Yeah.
She's having a conversation with it.
Yes.
We had a question about Wednesday. So can people still listen even if we aren't on Facebook?
Oh yeah. Thank you so much for asking that. Yes, of course. You'll get the the radio station. It's internet radio, so whatever website you have to go to listen to it. You do not have to be on Facebook. But if you want to ask, I guess I should have specified. If you want to ask a question or make a comment, you'll have to do that via Facebook. And Lisa and Wendy will be tuned in. You know, they'll have Facebook on their screen so that they can respond to you. That's the only reason you would need to be on there. You don't have to be on there. It's just a way to stay in touch with us. We love to hear from you. So that's all.
Absolutely. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Absolutely. All right. Everybody said thank you. Thank you to everybody.
All right. All right. Good night, everyone. Lots of love. Have a great week. Well, we're going to see you on Wednesday, right? And
yep.
Yeah. So okay. It is better than being vanilla. Yes. You are
my
so
God,
right.
vanilla.
Oh yes, who wants to be vanilla? Well, I guess there are people that do like vanilla, but
well, you know what though, but
chocolate has always been my favorite. What?
Some of Heather's friends, so Heather's 17, so some of her friends are, you know, they know that when they come over, I have, you know, angel books, I have the angel cards everywhere, I have crystals everywhere, I have my house, and they're all like, can you ask your mom if the guy that I'm dating right now I'm gonna marry? And I'm like, honey, you're 17. You're 17. But I've never been called vanilla or granola. I've been called a wackadoodle, but
yes, and we're okay with it. You know, go ahead, call me what you want. I don't care. That's who I am.
See, and it's my inner child. I'm one of the happiest people you'll ever meet, and there's nobody I don't love. See?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much. It was a very interesting exchange. You are so welcome, Sue. Okay, so we can listen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Black. Woohoo! That went quick.